Hey riders, let's talk about shifting gears. This topic often comes up when we find ourselves climbing, as shifting to easier gears is going to make it easier for us to continue up climbs as they may get steeper or we're getting a little fatigued. As we are thinking about shifting, envision that climbing scenario. It's a gentle grade and we're looking to maintain a comfortable pedaling cadence as we continue up the climb. As we're recognizing that the pedals are slowing down and it's starting to get a little bit harder to pedal, we're going to surge for a moment and create some forward momentum. As we've done that, we are then going to use the shift lever to shift while soft pedaling for a moment. And that is going to allow the chain to move more easily from one cog to the next. And when that is done, we can resume pedaling normally. Those teaching points again were surge, soft pedal and shift, and resume pedaling normally. This is often something that happens very quickly, and I'm going to give us an idea of what it looks like. What we often are noticing when we are struggling with this is that the drivetrain or the gears are very noisy. We may be pushing hard while shifting at the same time, and that's going to cause excessive wear and tear on the drivetrain, obviously those noises, and in some cases could even cause the chain to break. So that's something we want to do our best to avoid. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then we're all going to practice together. All right, coaches, let's talk about the why related to shifting gears here for a moment. Not everyone has seen this demonstration related to the chain under tension when we're pushing really hard. If we're pushing hard on the pedals, the chain is super tight and doesn't want to move easily. But if I lessen that pressure on the pedals, now the chain is much more able to move freely, and the shifting of the gears is going to happen more quickly with less wear and tear on the drivetrain. That is why we talk about surging in order to create some momentum so that when we shift, we can soft pedal and just turn the cranks without pushing hard, allowing the chain to move quickly and briskly, and then we can start pedaling normally immediately after that. Another thing to highlight is the phrase, always be in a gear that allows you to accelerate. We too often see riders shifting excessively to easier gears as they approach a climb. But then they're not able to get up the climb because they're pedaling too fast and not creating any forward momentum. Conversely, we often see riders in a gear that's far too hard as they're looking to go downhill, but they actually haven't started moving yet. And as they stand on the pedals in order to accelerate, they're struggling to get the pedals to move at all. So we want to help riders to realize you always want to be in a gear that allows you to accelerate, and you're shifting appropriately one gear at a time as your speed is changing and you're wanting to do different things on the bike. Let's talk about a few progressions related to shifting. First, let's have the riders shift in this gentle grade just like you showed them a moment ago. They can shift 1 or 2, maybe 3 times as they're passing you. Focus on that surge so that they're getting the appropriate opportunity to soft pedal as the chain is moving from one cog to the next. As they've become proficient with that, let's introduce a little bit more of a grade, and they can start traversing across a slope with a little bit more resistance and having to surge past that resistance in order to shift the gears. Another great progression is when we have a large hillside available to us, we can use cones in order to dictate a rectangle shape. And we can have riders shifting to easier gears as they go up the climb, going across, and then shifting to harder gears as they go down the descent across the bottom before repeating. Note that as you've set up this space, you often may have to play follow the leader and do a lap or two in front of them so they understand the concepts, and then you could stand in the middle of the area and provide additional direction and feedback. As we finish up here with shifting, I just want to point out that we can use shifting in many other exercises and drills that we may be doing with riders. Many of the other skills can offer progression as we shift and change gears and attempt to do them in different gears, either harder or easier. Additionally, you will see opportunities to practice race starts, and that's a great opportunity to point out how gear selection is going to lead to success when we're starting races. All right, coaches, now let's go over a few common errors we see related to shifting. The first is that we notice the bike is shifting very poorly, noisily, and the rider seems to be somewhat confused. Let's make sure that the bike is properly tuned and working appropriately so that when they hit the button, it's actually shifting. Another very common error that we hear is that shifting is very noisy. Let's make sure the riders understand how to surge before hitting that button. And what we often want to introduce is a very shallow grade where there's not a lot of resistance on the pedals, and they can actively anticipate their shift and surge pedaling hard, and then hit that button to change gears and have it change gears much more silently before continuing to pedal normally.